Hello, my historical fashion friends, and today we are going to be making a new pair of shoes, which I'll be wearing for a very exciting experiment back east where I am camping out and testing how well my Viking kit holds up. We'll be making this pair of shoes, which is one of the examples found in the Oseberg ship burial. I'm really excited to make this and have a new pair of shoes. If you are one of the people who have seen my other turn shoes video, you'll know that that was my first pair of shoes, and there are a lot of things I've learned since then that I think will improve the quality of the shoes I'm making. This is that pair of shoes, and they have held up okay-ish, but there's a hole here which needs to be repaired. And the other thing is that I used a very thin leather. I will be making a few corrections from that shoemaking video. One of them being, I made the decision to use a backstitch on these shoes because I didn't really understand the difference between a backstitch and a butt stitch. And the latter is actually more suited towards shoes and waterproofing, especially for turn shoes. So this didn't turn out so bad. I mean, you can see it's a very thin leather. And what I'll be using today is a bit thicker. This is just a slight bit thicker than that, but I think it's going to make a big difference. And I'm also thinking about the idea of you putting an additional sole in after I've turned the shoes, or even just sewing 3 layers together, because I think that would be a lot more comfortable when I'm walking on something like rocks or even having to walk on pavement for a long time. These shoes were very susceptible to ouchies, as I would say. But here is this other leather, if you can see, it's just about half the thickness. I wish I had a thicker sole leather, but I don't because I get all of my leather secondhand. I don't want to buy new leather, so I basically just rescue leather that was used for upholstery and then kind of the discards of that. But I feel like this is really comfortable, and then afterwards we might try a little something where I try to actually stain the leather with walnut dye. We're gonna see, but I'm kind of interested in that. So this shoe pattern is basically 2 pieces and then some cords, and it's another super simple shoe making style. And I know a lot of people make more complicated styles on other channels, and I've thought about getting a shoe last. I'm not going to use a shoe last in this video because I kind of want to cater my shoemaking videos to people who want to make shoes, but they don't necessarily want to, you know, invest in like an entire cobbler's studio. I kind of want to cater my videos to home sewists or people with limited space or limited budget, and they're not able to fully invest in all of the materials that a full shoemaking person would have, but they still want to be a part of that and get to try out making shoes and kind of add to their wardrobe. So first thing is we are going to make a mock-up. I found a couple of people who drafted some sort of a pattern based off of this online, and I tried to find the original, what seems to be some sort of thesis page, but it doesn't seem to exist anymore. There's just this Pinterest image of it. So I don't know, if you're the owner of this pattern, give a holler in the comments, or if you know whose it is. But I'm going to kind of base mine off of this, although the image here looks like there's another piece that kind of wraps around. We're gonna see when I do my mock-up, but I have this faux vinyl that I'm going to use to make my pattern, and this is also from the thrift store, and it is a pretty similar thickness, so I think it will be okay to use to make my pattern. And I am wearing my hose so that I have the appropriate sock thickness as well, so I don't, you know, do this on bare feet and then I'm wearing hose and then it's too tight. Although my other shoes were pretty loose, so I'm kind of interested in how this one has ties because I think it will be better fitting on my foot. Also, it is like so hot in this room. One of the negatives of my sewing office is that perplexingly it is the hottest room in my apartment. So kind of looking forward to winter. Yeah, so let's have some fun. It's time for some feet. So for all of you who love feet, get your kicks, you know what I mean? I just thought some people probably haven't seen that other video, and I should explain what a turn shoe is. So a turn shoe is one of the older methods of shoemaking in which you sew the shoe inside out and then you flip it around so that the seams are on the inside. And at this time, I think most shoes are actually right and left. Then there's a period where shoes are not right and left, and then they become right and left again. So I will be making a right and a left shoe. Okay, so for this shoe, it actually is basically two pieces, the sole and the outside. So let's see, I'm not blocking. It kind of wraps around the back. I feel like this piece is almost too big, but we are gonna see what we're doing here. So yeah, it kind of like wraps around the back and then goes, pardon my head, like this. So they're going to be used for this. I've got some tailor's chalk. Let's see. I feel like this will be easier if I actually cut a piece almost to the right height. Like, so I don't have to keep fumbling with this huge thing. I know red on red is like not very helpful. So yeah. I've also seen that some people do kind of like a duct tape mold of their foot as well, which is something I would like to try at some point. And then, yeah, and then this goes together, right? And I feel like this toe is too pointed. And then also cutting off like a little bit of this. Oh, I forgot to cut off this little buddy. Let's try these. We're gonna do this like boop. I can do this. And it's hard because I also don't have a sole on it right now. I assume this is probably why this is sewn. It seems to be sewn later, or at least part of it. See, there's like a gap though. That's what I'm wondering about. Like, what's going on with that? I feel as though I should make this straighter. Almost like 2 flaps or something. Let's take a look at the picture. Let's see if we can figure what's going on. I don't know, I think that maybe once it's sewn together, it's like fine. And then the heel piece comes up into the heel. I think I actually need to cut off more of the heel. Let's see if I can show you. I feel like my toe is pretty good right now, but I feel like just this and then that, and then I don't want to make it like, I guess I want to make this kind of form-fitting, so I will just add like a tiny bit of seam allowance. I think that makes the most sense. So I can like properly trace it. But I feel like this is looking actually pretty good. Let me see about cutting this off and then showing you the other side. Right. Let's see. Piece. Whole thing. Yeah. Don't cut off my toes. Okay. To me, like, this is looking good, right? And then our heel, this is kind of off center. So maybe that needs to get adjusted also. Or maybe it needs to go up higher. Yeah. That kind of feels better, actually. Yeah. Actually, that seems really good. Seems. What do you think? Does this look like... See, now, in the picture, it feels like this has like a tie attached to it, or it extends from it. I'm not sure if I should do that or if I should try to like attach a separate tie that goes in. I don't know. I feel like this is now good though, and I feel like I've evened out the heel piece. Let's see if I can show you from the top down. Okay, we have here like a top view of the shoe and what it's gonna look like. And it's pretty easy to cut a sole out. Like, I'll just trace my foot. But, yeah. Okay, this feels good. I feel like it'll definitely be more waterproof than my other shoes. So, let's see. All we have to do now is cut it out from the other leather. I know people did a lot of drafts of theirs, but... I feel like pretty good about this. And if it's not like a million times perfect, like I think that once you kind of like wet it and then you kind of wear it and let it dry, it sort of fits your foot. You know what I mean? Not this because it's vinyl, but actual leather. Yeah, let's just cut it out. We're gonna cut out one on one side, one on the other side, make 2 shoes, 2 soles, and then we're gonna start working on putting it together. And just so we can have a top-down view of the pattern, I think I'm actually going to straighten out this top edge. But this is basically the pattern that I'm going to use. Flip it over, use it for the other side. Yeah, also, I was having a good hair day, but like it is insufferably hot in here, so... I don't know if any people, like Vikings actually, or like maybe who actually wore their caps tied like this, but this is kind of how I tie my caps. Anyway, yeah, this was way easier than I thought. I've been putting this project off for weeks because I could not in my mind comprehend how I was going to make it, and it's like not that bad. I've got to chill. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out of my fashion fabric leather, and I'm gonna get sewing. Okay, gonna have to cut this out in the diagonal because there's like low-key like not enough space side to side. And I'm gonna trace my little foot here, and I'm leaving some of this for the cording. So I'm going to like not leave a big seam allowance, because last time I left a big seam allowance and then I did not seam big, and I was like sewing it. Oh my gosh. My body is not ready for this, actually, because I did kickboxing today, so I'm like super tired. Okay. Oh, I forgot I have to add. Okay. Not a problem, because this is what we did on the inside. I forgot I have to add a triangle. Triangle. I'll trace that out later. Okay, ignore that first line. Okay, let's fix that. Okay. I feel like I need to sort out that as well. This feels good, right? That seems good. That's like, yeah. We'll straighten out this, right? So it's not. Okay. All right. Lumpy ground. Get out of my way. This is a faux sheepskin. I also got at the thrift store. This has like a tiny bit of seam. I feel like let's just do it. You know. I'm always like paranoid I'm gonna accidentally like flash you guys down my blouse, because one of my favorite YouTubers accidentally did that. So trying not to do that. She's gorgeous. She's gonna be so gorgeous. Do not forget to turn it the other way around on the other shoe. I know this is gonna be in the inside. But that's the inside, so then it's actually gonna be my right foot. Yeah, but I traced the left foot. That's good. I'm gonna remember I traced the left foot. I traced the left foot. Okay, I am going to go downstairs and cut these out and leave my free sauna. And you know what cutting stuff out looks like. And then I'm just gonna do the exact same thing with my other foot, which when I put it together will be the opposite foot. Will it? No, it won't, because that's the outside. No, that's the inside. So I did trace the right one, because the suede is going to be facing my foot. So I did do it right. The maths portion of sewing is very hard for me. Anyway, I'm also going to cut long little strips that we can use for like tying. Yeah. I'll see you in 1 second. Okay, so what have we got here? We have our sole, this pattern, and then 3 little straps that I'm going to use to lace up each side, and then a little bit in the middle. Yeah. So let's get constructing. Okie dokie, so I've cut out my pieces, and I put my pieces for my right shoe over there so I don't get all confused. And then I have the pieces for my left shoe here. So, a couple of things. One thing that I did not have last time, which I think is going to help me this time, is this set of punches so that you can actually like just go around and pre-punch your holes. And I think that's gonna like really help out a lot. You know, like you just take this and then you hammer it. So let's just have a thinky for a second though before we go and do stuff. Oh, there's a sharp thing in my... Okay, so I have here some wax linen thread. That's what we're going to use to sew. I have 2 needles so I can go through each side. I have it all just in case. Pliers in case I need assistance. This mat to hammer on, which unfortunately is bent out of shape now because I steamed it. I don't know if I can steam it back down, but anyway. And I have a hammer for hammering the holes. Now we've got our left piece here, and let's have a thinky. How does this work? Oh, I think someone said, okay, this person was like, I put this in later because it has to go like this. Sorry, it has to go like in here. But how could I? Yeah, okay. So I think I know why this top part was done last, and I think it's so that you can have ease when you're going around. I should have marked where the actual end of my foot was, but I think it's here. And then I guess what would happen is like this, okay, it was here, and then this goes like this, right? And then on the other side it goes like that. So we're just gonna go to here. Maybe I should use some of these. I feel like these will actually be helpful. If I think I should do both at once, right? Does that make sense to you? Like if I do both at once, then I'll have both sets of holes that match. And I can use my mega punch, right? Because it's like a straight line here. Let's do it. I have too many things on here that are making noise. Yeah, I think that's good. Like, right? That did not go through all the way. Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, that's gone through, right? I think it's gone through enough. Moving on. We're gonna punch holes all the way around. Ooh. So I'm like not even looking at the camera. I set up B-cam so I could talk to you. Not talking to you. Weirdly, not looking at you guys. Okay. Yeah. So like, nah, they just ran off. They were like, Mommy, do you want to hang out with you? And then they were just like, oh, this is like so crooked though on the other side. Okay, let's not, maybe we don't do both at once, right? Because like this is like super crooked and that's like not awesome. So let's not, maybe just do the first one and then they'll be all equally spaced. Right, that's good. Anyway, I think this is gonna be like a time lapse now because I can't talk to you and hammer. So, BRB. Okie, so we got our holes punched in our sole. Just kidding. We got our holes punched in our body piece here, and we are ready to start sewing this together. So, I don't know, I think I'm going to use some of these to like kind of make sure I have everything in the right placement first. These, and this is already hopefully taking way less time than the first pair. And it's interesting because I was thinking, oh, I have so many holes to punch, and then I remembered I only have to punch the bottom because it's only sewn on the sole. And I was like, that's probably on purpose because during this time, people were trying not to spend a million hours sewing their clothes. So, yeah, so... One thing I never remember to do is to have all of my supplies near me, like when I'm starting something, and then I'm reaching awkwardly. This is good. I didn't punch the holes for the top part, where it kind of forms over the top of the foot, because I'm not sure how tight it's going to need to be. So I'm going to sew the bottom first and then kind of check it. Okay. Okay, sorry if there's like, put my microphone towards myself. Sorry if there's some background noise. I need the AC on. Sweaty. Alright, our shoe is shoed. And I'm going to try it on while it's just pinned together. And let's see how it goes. Hopefully I don't just explode all of these, but yeah. Try it. I feel like the world's lamest Cinderella right now. Okay, okay. Look at this one. And then this will have like a little thing here. This is like not bad, actually. Actually, it's not bad at all. Little ties here, little tie there. Yeah. Ooh. Is she looking good? Is she looking real good? I mean, kind of, yes. Like, is this the world's best made shoe? Probably not, but I feel like it's pretty good. I'm still like undecided about adding an additional sole. This one's kind of like a weird shape, but we're gonna try it. Okay. 2 needles. And where should I start from? I guess just the side. We're gonna start on the side. We're gonna go. Did this help at all, punching the holes? I'm gonna go through. Do I feel like this helped? I honestly don't. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We just need to make sure they're lined up. Okay. Here's our string. Try to make it equal. Basically this. And we're gonna go in the next hole. Where is the next hole? I feel like I need a magnifying glass. In the next one, through it. Oh. And then we're gonna go back in the same hole with this needle. Is way too big, I feel like, but it's fine. And then we're gonna basically like pull it tight. I'm a little worried I didn't make enough seam allowance, but I feel like it is okay. Okay, now we're gonna go the other way. Where's our hole? There it is. Where's this hole? There. This is like a fun game for my eyeballs, in which I try to see. Yeah, so this stitch is good because you can really pull like tightly, and it helps with the seam staying good. I hope this is not too soft. You know what I mean? I hope that the leather for this is not too soft. It might get kind of harder once I make it wet and then dry it. Yeah. Can you see this here? Am I stretching the hole too much though? Alright, so I won't pull it too tight. And I'm literally just going to do this all the way around. So I am just gonna go like all the way around this, attach my little heel bit, and then we will figure out where we're gonna put the top bit. Yeah. Just going to continue doing my butt stitch. Let's see if I can find a diagram for you here so that you can really appreciate its full splendor. And again, I'm doing a like flesh seam. What is this called? Maybe correct myself. This is the type of stitch I'm doing because I do not have a thick heel leather. So this is for heels that are thin. Yes. All right. I will return.
It's not ready yet to put these in, but
okay, so this is all sewn up, and then what I'm going to do is cut some little holes here to put my straps through, and also one here for a strap, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, so it's the next day, and I have finished this, and I flipped it inside out. I hope it's a little bit better once the I like wet it and then kind of put it on. But in order to make this tight enough, I think I'm actually going to flip it back the other way and then pinch it on my other foot. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, just gonna go like this. And then like, let's see how tight I can make it. I feel like both feet, I think that this is like as far as I should go. And then the rest is like laced up. Hopefully both feet are like the same. I hope I don't have like one jacked foot and one like skinny foot. And I'm gonna have to like also pre-make the holes for this. Yeah. That should be fine. And this all seems good. This just like wraps. And it's gonna have little ties. So I feel like here I should put something. And then I don't know how this one's gonna work. Maybe it needs another hole that this one goes through. In the back. I'll see what the picture looks like. Anyway, going to do the same thing and just do more stitches here. And then I'll show you afterwards. So I'm trying to figure out why the shoe in the image seems to be sewn with it on the outside. Because I thought I understood because you would pinch it, but then I thought, well, I didn't want to mark it on the outside. So I marked it on the inside, and then I'm going to sew it like this. I wonder if it's just really uncomfortable on the top of the foot. If it's facing down, so that's why they faced it up, because otherwise you could definitely just sew this all inside out and then flip it around. Unless it's because their heel thickness is much more than this one. Because this is not a very thick heel. And I'm still thinking about maybe making a second sole and then cementing it on the inside. Or just like cutting out a bit of felt or something. But that might be why, because I think this would actually be really hard to flip inside out if it was closed like this and then this was a hard, thick sole. That must be it. Yeah. So I'm going to flip this around, and then I've already pre-punched my holes on the inside, so then hopefully, yeah, I can still see them here on the outside. And we're going to go sew this bad boy together. And then we have to do the exact same thing for the other foot, which I haven't done yet. Yeah, and then make some decisions on the little toggles. I think it's just like a slit here, and it'll have a tie. And I wonder if that tie just ties all the way around to this tie. I think that could work. Yeah. Sewing time. Okay. So, let's see. I've got some straps here. And I want to make this one long enough for this. So this is not going to work. Okay. Let's just cut a little slit. And go. I'll put this in. And then, let's see, kind of shape that. There we go. And then I will take this guy. And then one more. And let's see. Okay. Trying to pull this through. This needs to be a little bit longer. You know, like, let's just tie this for a second to see, and let's put on our stocking outfit. I also desperately need to darn my hose. Ah, that just ripped. Well, now I really need to fix it. Okay. Here. Why? Okay. Here's our shoe. Here's our ties. I feel like this needs to go up maybe one more. Then, does it tie here? Like one more time. It has a little gap there, which I wish it didn't have, but I guess it's okay. Maybe that's why it went up one more. I guess it's okay. The heel is kind of weird. It almost feels like it should be farther back. But then it wouldn't be tight. I don't know. Okay, so initial review of the shoes is that they are comfy, except I feel like a slightly thicker sole would be better for walking over the 900 million acorns that are on the ground right now. Yeah, so, I mean, they are pretty good. I feel like that is the fault of me, not the shoes design, because I don't have the right sole leather. I'm thinking about maybe adding some sort of like felt, wool felt sole inside of these and seeing how that goes. But I mean, otherwise, pretty good, very comfy. So far I'm warm. It's not really that cold out right now. I accidentally hit the don't record button that I just discovered is on the front of my camera as well. Yeah, so we're gonna have to see in the night if these are still freezing cold or not. I also have leg wraps, which are not really the right leg wraps. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, I don't have the correct leg wraps, so why am I using camera audio? Okay, well, we're gonna have to figure that out. The section is going to be bad camera audio. So these shoes held up pretty well. When I took them off, I realized that they were like kind of damp inside, but they like didn't make my feet feel damp, so that's good. The only thing is, this is like a little bit of a weird bit here. So I feel like it's like missing a stitch. That's what I feel like. Maybe I can fix that one stitch. Otherwise, they held up really well. I like that you could tighten it with this little lace bit. It's definitely a good design. And this goes around. I mean, it held up for the whole day. And it was comfortable. With my hose, I was like totally fine walking around. I was walking in mostly like grass, but there's a lot of acorns and stuff, and I felt like good. The only thing is, other pairs I've seen, I feel like they must have did that thing where they get it wet and then shape it over the form because they held their shape more. And like these don't really hold their shape when they are like not on a foot, you know. It's a pretty thin leather, so. Also, for some reason, my hair like obviously went here on this one. So you can like see where all of your pressure is when you're walking. Yeah, but I mean, comfy. Good shoes. Definitely would recommend. I feel like you could also do this design with cloth or something. Like a cloth top and make them like really nice indoor slippers. Yeah. If you like videos about shoes, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what you think about this design. Hopefully I'll be making more shoes. I think I'm going to make a video, and I'm going to try to make a mold of my foot with plaster. I don't know if it'll work, but I do feel like it would be better to sew my shoes on something like a shoe last, but I don't feel like I can make a shoe last. Like at this point, I don't have anywhere to do like wood projects. So I'm just gonna try to like make a mold of my foot, like pour plaster in, let it set, and then seal it somehow, and then do that. Yeah. Let me know what you think of that idea, and I will see you next time.